Let's share our love for purple in this video and let's get creative in my creative journal for the YouTube collab loop group video. So if you're interested in watching, stay tuned. Hello everybody, this is Priya here. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning. And if this is the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope all of you like today's video and find some ideas or inspiration. Here I share tips, ideas and inspiration to make your planner and journal spreads pretty and functional. So it's another YouTube collab loop group video. If you're not sure of what that is, stay tuned. I will talk to you a bit more in detail. I'm filming this in the morning, so if you hear some of the loud noises, those are school buses which start coming into our neighborhood to pick up the kids around 6 a.m. And as you know, this is my creative journal, the 8x8 square journal from Archer and Olive. And I do have some stickers and some of the Halloween stuff out, along with some distress inks and oxides, my cutting mat, my gyro cut, all my tools I need. And if you know, I love to try new things in my creative journal and I try to do something different each time. So for this theme, purple, I'm bringing in this shimmer spray set, and this is from Ranger, and this was from a couple of years ago, and this is from my stash. So as you can see, there are no purples here. Yeah, Pure Sunshine, Postbox Red and Tangerine Dream. So I will be using the Tangerine Dream because orange and purple complement each other extremely well. So I'm going to be doing something different here. I also have a lot of the functional stuff because I will be using some of the black boxes too, because orange, purple and black I think is a good trio for October especially. So first of all, I cut out some of these black boxes. These are the bigger ones, and this also came from the same sheet. So I just cut that out because I wanted to have these ready, because this take a day to dry. And can you see that shimmer? So we will use these in our pages, and I will show you the process here because it is a bit messy, so you might want to be careful. And this is one of the farm delivery boxes. We usually get farm fresh eggs straight from the farm. So this is the box they deliver in. I get it in a pack of 30, so it is nice and flat. So I thought it is not too deep, but still deep enough to make sure that it does not splash outside. So I just went ahead and sprayed that and let it dry. I did not touch it, did not mess with it. So this is what I have after about 12-15 hours. So it was a busy week, so I just went ahead and sprayed it and left it alone because that was easy, because I was hardly home. So just have these ready. So let's figure out how we are going to do this. So this is the September creative journal, and it just blew up. It was a big hit over on the YouTube. So if you haven't checked that out, please do so. And now I do have a rough idea in mind. And please bear with me if my voice is a bit froggy. It's not been a long time since I woke up. And yeah, so we will start from here, and I need 2 pages. And yes, we are doing Dutch doors, but we are doing something different this time. I also have these 2 mega sticker books, and this has some of the Halloween stuff. There are 2 with foil and 2 without foil. So we could pull from these if we want. So if you saw, this was a scrap piece from my daily journal setup. Will have the video linked, and this is where I store my heads. We will go with 2 shades of violet. I'll have that ready. So whenever we need that, we can have it ready to go. So this is the, yeah, it's as easy as that. So you can have that. And I'll just make sure the sponges are only here so that it will not mess up our area. So that is the, yeah, I think we'll go with the wilted violet first because that is a bit light, because I don't want it to kind of overpower the whole thing. Just keeping that aside. And I want to go ahead and have some purple on all these boxes, circles rather, because they are functional circles after all. So it does have a bit of that I'm not sure it quite shows up as purple, but I think it does, at least in some areas, right? I think that's good. That's a nice blend of colors. So that's nothing too crazy. So just keeping that aside. The reason I'm closing it every time is that I don't want any, if at all there is some humidity or some moisture in the air, these are all water reactive. So you do not want that unexpected things happening all over your work, because when you intend to bring that in, that's a different story, but unintentionally you don't want that. So I'm just keeping it very minimally purplish because we have more purple to go through. So just trying to, it really is shimmery, if you can see, you know, it's really shimmery. So I'm sure it will be nice and fun when the pages come together. So I'm just keeping these three are done. So just trying to bring in some of those purples in the areas where it is white, because the other areas are already coated in orange. So just keeping that aside, and I will make sure I do not have, colors are different, but I still don't like to mix the sponges. So let me just move that aside. And we'll have this handy just in case, because black suit and the purple and black, I think especially for those spooky ones, it will be a nice touch. So let me just move that aside, take off this guy so that we do not end up with a mess. So back to our pages. So let's decorate this side. And I'm going with something very similar to what I did last time. And I also would like to try something new. So I'm trying and see. Yeah, so I'll go with this one. So when you take it off, this is what we have. And I think I will, yeah, just line it up like so. Or should I, yeah, I'll just move it a bit more to the center, because I will be having a second part to this setup, because I want to have some more fun with this. So let's see, which one should I go for? Yeah, something in the stripes or something in the, let's see. These washi tapes are all from Planny Thing, except for that polka dot one. Yeah, I think the striped one looks better here. We will get to use all of those colors, but let's get to this one now. And I will also come and we will first line up the circles and then go about decorating the circles, which yes, we will be doing so. So let's get the gyro cut and yeah, just trimming around the edge there. I do have tutorials on the gyro cut and all the things you can do with them. So if you want to check that out, that video is linked below. Yeah, so that is that guy. And it's a bit off-centered, I guess, so let me just try and fix that. I believe that's kind of the center. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and cut that. Let's cut around this and then use the scissors to trim off the rest. So this is a very nice tool to have if you are doing something creative and you want non-straight edges. Just putting the closure back on, and let's cut that. Because the gyro cut does not do a good job of cutting straight lines, so that is why I like to use the scissors for this one. And this is my creative journal, which I come and decorate only once a month. So these YouTube collab loop groups have been great. Thank you, Lisa Marie at Creatively Lisa Marie, for all the fun themes, and it always makes me think outside the box, so which is nice. So that is our first one all done, and we will go ahead and decorate behind that. But before that, let's finish off these Dutch doors because I'm planning to do 3 on each side. So that's the next stage, and we do have something smaller in between. So we'll go with the ones in the middle here. So yeah, somewhere here. Yes. So let's do this one here. So if you're not familiar with the YouTube collab loop group, the way it works is you get started, say you start with my video, and the next person in the loop will be linked below, and you watch their video and the next person will be tagged there. So you get to see a variety of spreads. It can be different planners, it can be journals, it can be anything related to the theme that Lisa Marie puts out. And you get to see a variety of spreads and you get to meet a lot of new YouTubers. So we are all a whole bunch of growing YouTubers, and it's a great way of supporting us and helping us grow. And once you land back at me or whoever you started with, you will have completed the loop. And if you are joining me from the loop, I really appreciate you. And if you are one of my subscribers who are back, I really appreciate you coming back for me. Every time I'm surprised by the variety, because some do Hobonichi, some do journals, some do Erin Condren. It's like you get to see all the planners out there. So now you can see that third layer that I'm finally putting down before I go ahead and cut that second half, or the part I'm cutting off, so that it can be a proper Dutch door. And that's our third layer. I think it turned out fun and different. It turned out slightly different from what I had envisioned, but I think I'm happy with how it looks. So I need to decorate behind that, and also if I don't use these fonts, these spooky little fonts from that book, when will I use it? I'm not sure. So I also need some of the purple and orange elements for the background, and before that I'm bringing in the distress oxides again. So it is just for that spooky finish at the bottom, just behind that Dutch door, and that gives a nice backdrop for all of these cascading Dutch doors. And I will bring in some of these elements, but before that I think I will line up the font, and I think I will grab the ruler because I need to make sure it is straight or else it will look really weird. The other advantage to lining it up like so is I will also know if I need to scoot it up a bit or just leave it with the spacing, and then I can bring in more elements for the space that's remaining. So you will see how that witch hat will be brought at the top, and that also gives me that space that I can use to bring in additional elements, especially the cauldron at the bottom. And that witch hat on top of the October is a nice touch. And I'm also bringing in some of these spiders, which you will see, and these orange spider webs, just for some pop in that area that's empty. These are printables, and I printed them on clear, so you will have a seamless look to them. So that's the advantage when you pick up the printable stickers, because you can use them on clear sticker paper or paper sticker paper. I'll have all the recommendations that I have for the sticker paper if you're looking for one. It is linked below. So that is that right side pretty much done. And I try to bring in the symmetrical elements, and I'm using these older functional sticker books from Planything. And she does have another functional sticker book that is currently available. This one is not. So every time there is a sale, I make sure I pick up the extra copies. I have 2 copies of these of the same book, but then I have used up some of the colors. So I'm trying to count the number of dots so that I can have pretty much the symmetrical look, because I also want to make sure it is not too far off, because it will look really weird, especially when we have both the sides opened alongside. So just trying to mix in some of that washi, just cutting that off so that I can put the washi tape rolls aside. And then I need to make sure that I have the symmetrical look for the functional boxes also. And I'm just trying to make sure that once I cut, it will be not reversible. So just double checking and triple checking before I do that. So I'm just cutting off the washi from behind there, and then I cut around that circle, and then you will see me do something stupid, because yeah, it can be fixed, and I do fix it. But sometimes when I switch the sides, this first Dutch door is fine. For the remaining 2, I can't believe I did that twice. So you will see what I mean. So I'm making sure that washi tape is flat and straight, and then I go ahead and cut that. See what I did? I cut on the wrong side of the washi tape. But don't worry, we have ways to fix it. So I'm just trimming around there, and that's the second one, and just realized I had messed up with the count, and that's the third one. And the last Dutch door setup that is being put down, just counting the lines and the dots and making sure it is pretty much straight. I could have gone for an uneven one, but I did not. Yeah, see, I did it again. Luckily, I realized that before it went further. So, and don't throw away those scraps because I will be putting them to use in the upcoming creative videos. Luckily, I think this one will be finished. The pages will be exhausted, I mean, by the end of the month, not the end of the year rather. So I will be bringing in a new book, and I bring in a new color, and this is from Doodlebug. I have it linked, but you can find very similar scalloped washi tapes at Planything too. So that's a good way of hiding it. Just do the washi tape with a bit of an overlap so that it can hold that page together. So that's all the trick to fixing such accidents is. And going for symmetrical shapes and sizes. The sizes are slightly different, but I think it will do. And I'm trying to go through and see what other colors I can bring in, because the pages in the back are really something I would like to use functionally. So these would be the decorative elements. So you will see when I mean decorative, because I will be bringing in lots of those fun, spooky elements, the deco items. So that is pretty much the fixing of the accidents. And I tried to bring in that polka dot, which is from Daiso, but I did not like it. So going with something, this just evolved because this was not something I had in mind. So just for the edges, something a bit there, and then I will go ahead and add more spider webs, as if the spider webs are connected to that first circle in the first Dutch door, and that's another house. And bringing in that spooky house with the tree and all the bats flying around, and trying to bring something that is really coordinating with the colors, and also making sure that it doesn't bring any new colors. I bring in a couple of those pets in costumes. And then I realize we will need some more of those fonts for balance. So you will see what happens. And I'm finishing off the remaining of the symmetrical sides in the back. And some of those really do not have the washi tapes already on them. So bringing that in, and just trying to mix and match and try and see what washi tapes and colors will look good right next to each other, because when we turn the page, it does sit next to each other. So trying to make sure I do not bring in a lot of the reds and oranges or any of the foliage or florals for that matter. So just trying to balance out some of the black on the right side. And these pets in the costumes are super cute. And these are older sticker books, but you do have the newer ones with cute, adorable stuff. And Planything did come out with their holiday release recently. So it is a nice, fun collection to have. And these are all small elements that I have. And I'm now bringing in, trying to see what others I can use from the mega books. And yes, this looks like the perfect spot to grab some of those deco items from. Something fun, something spooky and cute. Nothing too gross or nothing too, what shall I say, nothing too creepy. Yeah, that's not for me. So something cutesy Halloween I can handle. So that is why you see me bring all of these spiders and spookiness, and I can handle all those skulls and bones and the gravestones and tombstones. And sorry, I can't do those. And bats, I think, do bring in a good balance. And then I realized that I will need the functional boxes, which I will also come and start adding now, because every page I'm trying to bring in at least a couple, because we all have tons of functional boxes, and trying to do some layering there. Brought in some of the cats, and you will see all of those smaller deco items being brought in. And the Happy Halloween is already there in one of the boxes, so I did not bring that in as a bigger element. And unfortunately, I will not be using any quotes in here because I couldn't get hold of anything, and I did not have the luxury of time to make some of my own, which sometimes I do. But this time I just decided to skip it because there is already a lot going on. So just mixing in the colors from various Planning Things sticker books. And it is a nice way of bringing in some of that color and also bringing in some of that space to fill all the good things that do happen. And there are lots of those spooky elements and some of those cutesy stuff, like adorable little food items and all the drinks and cupcakes and all sorts of things. So I thought it is a nice way to use up some of those smaller elements, which sometimes just end up just sitting there. And I bring in the last few sheets in the Halloween, the autumn houses and trees, if I'm not mistaken. That was from last year. And I do have almost all of the boxes down. And then when I look at it, I think I do realize some of the elements missing, just going on to see how I can fill up that white space that are visible from the front. So that is the florals, and I had printed them in really small sizes, so that is why I can cut them in half and then use them in smaller spaces like this. And the colors are perfect. It's orange, black, and purple, which I had used up pretty much. So bringing in those spiders too, which I may put in as fillers, and those really pull the spread together, because small elements that come in, it's something small, but some things like these really make a difference and pull the spreads together. That's what I have found. So let me know if you have found something similar like that, and if you like adding those finishing touches which you think are really important when it comes to pulling the spreads together. And please, yeah, so I'm back to the font, the spooky little font, and you will see me spell spooky. So that completes the left side of the Dutch door situation. It will look nice and cute, nice and cohesive once that is done. So definitely please check out the next person in the loop. It is linked below. And please give us all a follow on IG, and also please subscribe to our channels and turn on the bell notification so that you will not miss any of our content. And please, if you are feeling very generous, please drop us all a word or line of encouragement. And I'm going in and rounding the corners there, and that should be it. and let me know how you like today's video and what your favorite aspect of today's video was, creative journal spread was. And please subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification if you haven't already. I would really appreciate that. I really appreciate the love and support that all of you showered on me in my last creative journal spread, and I hope you continue to do so. It does help me grow, and it does help me achieve that milestone I'm looking forward to this year. And please come follow me on Instagram. I'll have all my details down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in my next one. Bye.